Hi Leo, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing a bonus reading for you guys. You had the highest viewership last week, so I wanted to say thank you. I am going to start by letting you know that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every single Leo out there. So guys, take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind the energies may reverse. So if it's resonating, Leo, get in where you fit in, but don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Leo? Leo. All right. Leo, you are starting out with the Two of Pentacles. You have Judgment in reverse and the Page of Cups reversed. So you're trying to make a decision here. I feel like you're afraid of making a poor judgment call, so you're kind of weighing the pros and cons of the situation. I also feel like there's prayers that are going up for those of you that are more spiritual in nature. It could have to do with a reconciliation, but I do feel like there is almost a fear here of making a poor judgment call, and you're trying to keep your emotions out of it. Some of you may have a choice between a reconciliation and someone new, but regardless, there's some kind of decision you're trying to figure out. And I feel like you want to make a balanced decision. You don't want to make an overly emotional decision here. So let's see who's in your energy. Show me who is in Leo's energy. All right, the person in your energy, we have the Queen of Wands in the reverse. We have the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So you could be dealing with a fire sign. Could be another Leo like yourself, or an Aries, Sagittarius. We also have a water sign, which would be Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. So what I'm seeing here is that this person is not being very clear with you regarding feelings and emotions. I will tell you they do have deep feelings for you, very deep feelings. But I almost get this energy here that this person is somehow withholding their feelings from you, their emotions from you. I also feel like this person could be a little bit of a blamer. With the Ace of Swords in the reverse, they're not providing the clarity that you need in order to make this decision. So let's see the energy between Leo and this person. Knight or King of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, you might be afraid that this person's being a little bit deceptive. I can clearly see that there's a lot of things that are not being talked about, not being discussed in a really honest manner. Again, it does appear that it's more so coming from this person. They're just not providing you any clarity. And you may actually at this point be starting to feel like maybe this person is not being honest with you. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Show me what is affecting this connection. All right, so we have the Page of Wands and we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. So you're going to talk to them about it. You want to have a discussion with this person about whatever you are trying to make your decision about in order to make a clear decision. And I get that. I think that that's probably very wise of you. I do feel like you're going to bring this discussion up. With the King of Pentacles here in the reverse, this person, I do feel like they fear losing you, but I also feel like this person is not as stable as they want to be. Do they love you? Yes. Are they providing the commitment that you're looking for? That's where it seems like they're kind of withholding from you. So I definitely do see that. Again, I do see that there are newer people that are in your energy as well. Definitely for some of you, seeing that you have a choice between reconciling with someone from the past and starting something brand new with someone else. So let me see. This person could be having some financial issues that they're not being direct or honest with you about as well. Let me see. We have literally all the signs that are here. So, you know, with the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but literally they're all here. Let me see the outcome. We're going to try that again. Show me the outcome for Leo, please. The Two of Cups. You're going to get on the same page with this person. Yeah, because you're approaching it from a more, I guess, head over heart type of energy. You're trying to not make it overly emotional. You don't want to make a bad judgment call, but I feel like you are leaving your emotions out of it. I feel like with the Two of Cups that you're going to get on the same page with this person, because the truth is that they do love you. But there's a lack of commitment or a lack of stability that is affecting this connection. And I feel like they don't want to talk about it. So I do like your approach. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Pentacles. This tried to come out earlier. This is underlying energy. So this is indicating that there is going to be some very slow but very stable forward movement in this situation. Remember, with the Knight of Pentacles, that's the only knight that actually crosses the finish line. Most of the knights just move in very quickly, but they can also leave just as quickly. Not the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles moves very slow and very methodically. And so I do feel like that's a positive thing in this particular reading. So let's clarify your reading, Leo. Spirit, why is the Two of Pentacles here for Leo? All right, we have the Two of Wands in the reverse, and we have the Ten of Cups reverse. Yeah, you are trying to make a very sound decision, but you just don't feel like you have enough knowledge to do so. And it's because you don't feel this person's being honest and direct with you. There could be some anger between the two of you as well. I do feel like you're very unhappy with this person currently, and you are actually considering moving in another direction, possibly with somebody new. Show me Judgment in reverse for Leo. Show me Judgment in the reverse for Leo. Oh, I like that. Empress energy. And then we have the Strength card in reverse. So you're trying not to make a decision based out of fear. You're in this Empress energy, Leo, which is very positive. I like seeing that for you because it tells me that you are high vibrational, that you know your value, you know your self-worth. You're not chasing after anyone. You're just merely asking for clarification. However, your fears are affecting you a little bit here as well. And I do feel like that's why you're kind of going back and forth a little bit, back and forth. I do see you actually making a decision. At this time, it looks like the decision is to open up this discussion, to talk to this person, but you are afraid that, this person is not going to receive that very well, that it's going to cause them to be very angry. I'm also seeing that you are, for those of you that may be wondering if you should move in a whole new direction, you may be a little bit afraid to move forward with somebody new. So, when you're feeling those doubts, all of those self-doubts and afraid of making a judgment call here, you're going to have to lean into that Empress energy, which I do think is more dominant, but your fears are showing up too. So, and that's where your indecision is coming from. Where is the Page of Cups? Show me the Page of Cups reversed for Leo. Show me the Page of Cups reversed for Leo. All right, Eight of Swords and the Seven of Wands reversed. So you're up in your head. Yeah, you're up in your head. Am I being too emotional? Am I not being emotional enough? Should I show my feelings to this person? There's a sense of powerlessness and fear that is, trying to creep in on you. You have to just say no, Leo. Find yourself seated in this Empress energy because it's very good energy. I just think that this is a situation where you just don't have the clarity you need. So I do feel like you're kind of up in your head. You're afraid that this person doesn't have the feelings and emotions for you. You don't want to fight with them. And I do feel like this person tends to run hot. They tend to get angry, you know. And they also don't want to discuss their feelings and emotions. And if they're having some financial issues, they're trying not to discuss that too. Them being that defensive is what is making you fear having any confrontation with this person. So it's keeping you up in your head. You're thinking about it. You're trying to figure out how to approach it. I have to tell you that if you do have new people in your energy, I'm also seeing that you don't want to, there's a fear of moving forward with someone new as well. I don't know if that fear is just based upon your past history or if it's something to do directly with that person, but it does definitely put you up in your head. So let's look at this person's energy. Why is the Queen of Wands in reverse for Leo, or the person in Leo's energy? All right, we have the Tower in reverse and the Two of Swords. Okay, so they're trying to decide something here as well, and they're going back and forth. So you both have a decision, but nobody's talking about it. They're also trying to avoid having a tower moment. And I do feel that this person kind of shifts blame onto you. It's almost like they're saying, you know, I don't want to talk about this. It's making me upset that Leo wants to discuss it. I don't want to have another tower moment here with Leo. We're trying to, it looks like this person is trying to rebuild something with you, but it's just this block that they're putting on this communication. And I feel like they use anger to push you away a little bit as well. It's because they're going back and forth in their head too. Yeah, should they take action? Should they open up? Should they talk to you? Is it going to create more of a problem if they do? I can tell you right now, it's not about their feelings and emotions for you. It's about them feeling like having this discussion is going to lead to problems. Show me the Queen of Cups. Why is the Queen of Cups here? For the person in Leo's energy, show me the Queen of Cups. Page of Cups reversed and the King of Pentacles. Now, that's actually very positive because that tells me that in the past, this person has been withholding feelings and emotions, and they haven't been, they haven't been trying to bring stability to the connection. They haven't been offering the commitment. But here we see a reversal of this King of Pentacles. It goes into the upright. And it's because this person does love you. They do have feelings for you. They could also be afraid of losing you too, because your energy is very withheld here with the Page of Cups. And I do think that they could be afraid of losing you to someone else. Because obviously, if you're in this Empress energy, Leo, they're not the only person who's noticed it. And they know that. So they don't want to see you move on with someone else. Now, are they coming to you apologizing for, their angry outbursts? Are they apologizing for the lack of commitment? I don't see them doing that. Quite honestly, I don't. I do see this person coming towards you, though, reversing that energy of non-committal, energy here. That non-committal energy is based on loss in some manner. I also feel like this is somebody who does work very hard. I feel like they're more comfortable with making money, providing, and having things be very stable in their life. They feel, it's almost like they feel that emotions are too erratic. So they don't like to deal with the emotions. But I also see them bringing forward commitment and love towards you. So let me see the Ace of Swords in reverse for the person in Leo's energy. The World and the Four of Wands reversed. Yeah, they're bringing a close to this cycle where there's been a lack of commitment, a lack of stability, a lack of communication. All of this is coming to a close. And I do feel like, Leo, it's because you are approaching this person and you're approaching them in a very gentle way. The Empress is very nurturing, very kind. So I feel like you're not pushing this person. You're approaching them in a very gentle way. And you're saying, look, I need clarity. And they are going to provide that. Yeah, let me see the energy that's currently between Leo and this person. Show me the energy between Leo and this person. All right, here's your decision. The Two of Pentacles goes into the reverse and the Ten of Pentacles. This person views you from a long-term point of view. They feel like the two of you could have everything. So I feel like this is just somebody, Leo, that is really uncomfortable with their feelings, with their emotions. They'd rather focus on stability. They'd rather focus on money, how they make the money. You know, they're like a provider. So I do feel that they feel that you are very loyal. They feel that the two of you could have everything together, that this will go the distance. And I see you making a decision here. Again, it seems to pivot around you approaching them with this discussion. And I see you doing it in a really gentle way. I can see why you would do that as well, because like I said, this person does seem like they have an inclination to be angry when you try to bring things up and talk to them. I see the decision you're making is to have the discussion. The decision, they're trying to have this discussion too, but they've avoided it here in the past. I also feel like this person could belong to either an organization, or they may be very closely tied to close friends or family that could be affecting their decision. Let me see what's affecting the connection. Show me what's affecting the connection between Leo and this person. Okay, so we have the Devil in reverse. We have the Queen of Wands reversed. And we have the Three of Swords. Yeah, this person has been heartbroken in the past. There's a sense of heartbreak. I don't know if it was with you. I do think it was, though. I think that there was something in this connection, because this is your card, Queen of Wands, and it's in the reverse, as if this person is saying, you know, in the past, you broke up with me, you hurt me, or we broke up. I loved you. I'm here providing, you know, for you, and yet you broke my heart. Now, I'm not saying you did. I'm saying that that's how this person is viewing everything. At the same time, they are wanting to have something long-term with you, and they do believe that the two of you could. So I feel like this person is changing their perspective. What's affecting the connection currently is that nobody's really acting on this. I feel like this person holding back, not really opening up, has made you a little bit angry. I see that you are afraid that there's going to be toxic energy. I don't know if perhaps in the past, it looks like in the past there was toxic energy, and you've really done a lot of work on yourself, particularly with regard to fear. I do feel like you're continuing to work on yourself. I feel like you don't want to make a bad judgment call and move into a connection that is all about the passion and lacking in, you know, the feelings and the emotions. I feel like you've come a long way. I can see there was toxic energy here, but you've really done a good job at addressing that. So you're basically saying, you know, I do have other options here, and I haven't done anything yet, but what I want to do is make a good judgment call. And if that means that you're going to be toxic in my life, then I am going to move towards someone new. But I feel like you are very strong when discussing it with this person, but when you're by yourself or you're thinking about it, that's when you get up in your head. I also feel like, Leo, you don't want anything toxic. I think that you're done with that. You know, that toxic situation that you've gone through in the past has caused you to move into this Empress energy, which is good. That's really good. But again, I do feel like the fears get to you at times, and that lowers your vibration a little bit, although temporarily. This person that's in your energy, again, I feel like they're afraid of getting hurt. Yeah, they're afraid you are going to break their heart. So I do see them reversing their stance and getting a new perspective. Let's look at your outcome. Show me the outcome for Leo and this person, please. Show me the outcome. Let's try that again. Show me the outcome for Leo and this person. All right. Queen of Swords, there's the discussion right there. There it is. We have the Lovers, and I do feel like you are going to be the one who opens up this discussion. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Okay, so yeah, I feel like you're going to be the one who opens up this discussion. One of the things that you have had to learn, and it looks like because of a very toxic environment, is to put in boundaries. So you want to have this discussion. You want to get on the same page. You go from the King of Swords reverse, where nothing's being talked about, nothing's being discussed, to the Queen of Swords in the upright, where we're having this discussion to get on the same page. With the Lovers, you do believe that the two of you were supposed to be together. There's a sense here of you feeling like this was divine destiny, and you feel like this person is a soulmate. So I feel like when you talk to this person, your boundaries are going to be intact, and I do feel that you're going to have a very honest, very direct, very open discussion with this person. But you're trying to figure out how you're going to approach them without it being an overly emotional situation. So I do feel like you know this person very well. Now, in their energy, they're closing out this cycle here. Is it going to go as smoothly as what you want? I think that's going to be a little bit debatable, because you're obviously having to put in these boundaries. You're the one who's having to approach the subject. And so with the Wheel of Fortune here, this person has a very difficult time making those shifts, but they're in the process of it. And what I'm seeing is that, honestly, it's not their feelings for you. It's their fear of hurt. It's their fear of heartbreak, their fear of loss. And they are deathly afraid that you're going to hurt them, is what it amounts to. So I do feel that they are closing out this cycle of non-communication, so they will communicate with you. They're closing out this instability that's here, and that instability was caused by an ending. Are they going to turn the page immediately? No, it's going to take a little bit. But are the two of you going to get back on the same page? Yes, I do see that happening. And I also feel like the two of you do legitimately look to be, soulmates here. So, bottom of the deck is the Eight of Cups. This is underlying energy, and it tells me that you are walking away from things that do not make you happy. So I do feel like you have a decision as well. Like I said, some of you have a decision between two people. I do feel that at least in the near future, you will not be moving forward with anybody new. I do feel like most of you are going to at least try to get clarification and see if you can work this out, because you have strong feelings for this person. But at the end of the day, you're not dealing with anything toxic, and you're just very firm about that. What you went through has helped you come to that position of being in the Empress energy and having these strong boundaries. And so I do feel like most of you are going to try to work this out with this person. You're making forward movement here, and you are definitely moving towards wish fulfillment. So let's pull an oracle card for you, Leo. Pulling for the sign of Leo. All right. So your card says, reward yourself. You've been giving a lot of yourself lately, and it's time for you to receive. Make the time to reward yourself in a meaningful way. The balance of giving and receiving is essential to keeping your energy, mood, and motivation at a consistently high level. And that's that Empress energy. So make sure that, this is a balanced and equal give and take. And also be sure that you're being balanced. If you're giving a lot to this situation or giving a lot to other people, be sure that you do something for you as well. All right, I hope this has been helpful for you, Leo. If you have resonated with this reading, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype the video if you get the opportunity. And until I see you in your next reading, Leo, know that you are loved, and namaste.